In this presentation, I'm going to talk about network troubleshooting. As a CompTIA certified technician, you should be able to troubleshoot network. This is one of the assignments you're going to have to make sure the network is performing well. As I said before, if you have a network that is slow, the transfer rate is slow, and you have computer at your workplace that is not working good, this can cause a serious problem for the employees because they need to perform their work, and the fact that they don't have a good network, they don't have good computers, they will not be able to operate in full performance. That will slow down the performance of the employees, and that will also slow down the performance of the institution or the company you are working for. So this is your responsibility as the IT specialist to make sure the network is performing well and all the computers in the network are doing well. So in this presentation today, this is what I want to accomplish. I want you to know the basic network connectivity. So when you troubleshoot network, you know how to start. Because if you don't use the best practice in troubleshooting, you might find out you spend too much time not only to pinpoint where the problem is, but also to fix the problem. So we're going to, by the end of the presentation, I want you to understand how to troubleshoot wireless connectivity as well as wired connectivity. I want you to understand IP address and all the other parameters that work with IP address and the hardware to make sure that network can provide services, because the job of the network is to provide services to the users. And I want you to be able to use Windows operating system to figure out the configuration of the network, and you will have conflict between different IP. I want you to understand how the DHCP server work and how you can deal around IP conflicts and slow IP too. So this is a very, very important presentation, and you can use it as a lab. Actually, even though you successfully use all the techniques I'm going to teach you, but in class I hope we can go over all of those techniques again so you can become very familiar, because that's going to be your everyday job to make sure that the network is maintained and every computer on the network are doing their job. Now for wireless, every wireless must have a SSID. When you come to Marapen Tech or you go to any place, the first thing you see a list of network available. This is because of the SSID. You can find out what are the network available and what network you can use. So the SSID is being broadcasting for every computer or any computing device that come in the field where the network covers. So network will the SSID will be displayed only within the range of the network. So if you cannot see the SSID of the network, probably it is because you are out of the range. And there are cases too where the SSID is suppressed. You have to go and configure the network ID manually. So all of these are things that we're going to address in that presentation. And also there are something named standard mismatch. You know, as I said, there are many standards of wireless. Some of them are obsolete, such as wireless 802.11a, 802.11b. Those wireless are actually obsolete because now most manufacturers will use wireless standard AC or wireless standard N. However, we still have a lot of devices out there that people buy probably 10, 11 years ago. Since it's a good quality, they're still using their device. If you go to a place that is configured only for wireless AC or a newer type of standard, there will be a mismatch because those new wireless standard, they are not backward compatible. So it is very important. You need to have a wireless access point that is compatible with the older standard. So wireless access point that work in both 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz frequency, those type of wireless access point can work with older device, even if the device was a device made 15 years ago or 20 years ago that used wireless A, or a device that used wireless B or wireless G. Those equipment, the fact that they can work in both frequency 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, most of the time those wireless can work in compatibility mode. So that means they support any type of wireless, even the oldest one that are obsolete. And there are a few things that I want to bring to your attention. In some place, based on the material they use in the construction, you may have a slow wireless signal. For example, if a building use one of those construction material such as plasterboard that have a foyer back, so you can see when you go to a construction place, you can see those plasterboard, but in the back of the plasterboard they have a layer of foyer. So those type of equipment, they are not really they are not dealing good with wireless signal. They can block the wireless signal. Buildings that are built with big concrete block, those buildings too, they are not very friendly with wireless. So you may have a lot of difficulty dealing with wireless signal in building like this. Actually, building that have a lot of mirror. Around here, I don't see a lot of them. But if you go to New York City, most of the buildings, they're shiny. Even in downtown, you can see a lot of them. They start using a lot of mirror in building. So those mirror also, they are not friendly with radio frequency signal. So they can block your signal and you have a lot of difficulty dealing with those type of equipment with your wireless connection. So it is very important to be aware of your surrounding, because in those places, maybe you need to put more wireless access point. So this is not going to be something difficult, because you know, if you have dead spot or you have a location in a building where the wireless signal are not strong enough, you may have to put a wireless access point. So you're going to pay attention to the circumstance to figure out why your wireless is not effective or is not strong enough. Now, when you are troubleshooting connectivity, it is very important to understand most of the connectivity problem will come from the physical part of the network. Network has the virtual part controlled by the software and the protocol, but network also have the physical part, such as the port, the RJ45 port, where you connect the cable. That RJ45 port can become defective and you lost connection with the network. That cable that you connect to the RJ45 might become defective. Anything physical can become defective because of the way you use it, the way you treat it, or because of time. After a certain amount of time, you using something, especially if you can keep removing the cable, put it back, you can cause some problem. So look for the physical problem first to see if you have a problem with a network interface card. If you have the problem with the port where you connect the cable to the switch, look for physical problem first before you look for other situation. But in this presentation, what I'm going to do is to tell you about a few tools that come with Windows operating system you can use for troubleshooting. And the few of them I'm going to focus on are the tools that I know you're going to have to use, because from my experience in the field, I figure out almost every day there are some of the tools that I have to use. So I want you, not only I'm going to tell you about it, but I want to tell you where to go in Windows operating system to find those tools. So I said the first thing you do, you check the RJ45 port, you check the cable, you check also if they have active electrical power. Because sometimes you can go online, computer can go online, none of the computer on the network can go online, or the computer are working well but they cannot go access the internet. And I'm telling you, sometimes it's just because the modem does not have electricity. No computing device will be able to work without power. So you have to check the electrical power to see if they have active power for the equipment to work. So I'm going to move to the next segment.